friends, we made it to 1 month. So this is the fourth week, the fourth exercise video that I'm getting to make. This week was mostly about just progressing repetitions. I did progress from modified planks to full planks, so I'll show you those. And then got to take several longer walks. And the park that I walk to has park benches, so I've started adding in some body weight resisted exercises using the park benches. So I'll show you those with my trusty chair here. And then added in a day of just working on stretches and mobility stuff. So my hip flexors remain pretty tight, pecs and upper back remain pretty tight. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of things that I'm doing for those. So to start off, the ones that I've been just progressing numbers are the basic core ones. So the level 2 marches and heel slides. Starting from that tabletop 90-90 position. The marches, if you remember, are keeping one leg up and lowering the other one down, alternating back and forth. So I've built up this week to my goal of 30 on this one. And probably will stick with this level, but start trying to reach further out with my heel as my progression for that this next week. The heel slides, which are these ones where you're starting from that same position, straightening out one leg at a time, I've built up to 30 of those and have been lowering them, trying to get to more of a horizontal position. So again, this next week probably just going to stick with 30, same level, but progress to a lower leg extension, which is more challenging. The single leg bridges have built up to 20 of the leg extensions, but those are still quite challenging, so I'm probably just going to keep it there. I will probably add in a single leg bridge where I'm actually lifting and lowering one leg. That'll be the next progression, so keeping one leg up straight and lifting and lowering with the opposite leg. But otherwise keeping the leg extensions this way. The crossbody curl-ups, also progress those in number to 30, and also have been working on getting further off the ground with these. So this is the one where you want to squeeze your knees together on either a foam roller, a firm pillow, something soft but not giving. And then you're going to raise one elbow up towards the opposite knee. And if you remember when I started, I was just barely kind of lifting, just getting the shoulder blade started to come off the ground. And now I'm lifting that shoulder blade all the way up off the ground, trying to really reach towards that opposite knee. And again, these I'll probably stick with the same number, stick with 30, same exercise, but just keep working on reaching, extending further up into that movement, which is going to recruit more of those obliques and rectus abdominis ab muscles. The planks, I did progress from modified planks, so on your knees and forearms. I was doing these as of last time, front and also side, and I've progressed both of those to full planks, where you have your feet and your forearm. Been doing a full minute, which is quite challenging, on each side as well as to the front. So those I'll be progressing next week, and that'll be fun to show you. All right, so the stuff with the chair or the bench at the park. I think I showed you guys last time the tricep dips. And last time I did feet together, just lowering towards the ground and coming back up. So now I've been able to do ones where I'm doing single leg. And this gets the hamstring fired up a little more, kind of adds a little leg dimension and also makes it more challenging on the arms. So I do about 8 to 10 on each side. The push-ups I had done on the back of the chair or park bench last time, and I've progressed down to the seat of the chair or park bench now. So once again, just making sure that your body's a nice straight line from your heels to your head. I like to go elbows wide, but you can go narrow if you want. Lowering chest down to chair, trying to keep the chin slightly tucked, not letting the head crank back. Tummy stays tight, so that as you push back up, you don't get any kind of sway back. We're not looking for a butt up in the air. You really want a nice straight line. So think tummy tight, hips slightly like tucked under, and then just elbows wide, up and down. And then another thing I added was squats to touch the bench. So these are starting from standing, and you just want to sit back in your hips, drive those hips back, lower down just to touch the seat, and then come back up. So this is a good way to work some squats in and really keep your form good. So I did about 20 of those, multiple reps, just each park bench I came to. And then I also transitioned from just static kind of lunges where your feet stay in the same spot, you're going up and down, to either step back lunges if I'm here at the house, or a walking lunge when I'm at the park. So walking lunge being traveling, where you're doing one foot and then the other foot and moving forward like that. So hip flexor mobility work, have still been doing a kneeling hip flexor stretch to kind of target that psoas. So coming into a half kneeling position, thinking hips tucked under or rolled under like this, which gently tightens the tummy. I don't need to lean forwards at all to feel the stretch in my back hip in this position, but some of you may not feel much in this position just by tucking the hips under, so you may need to kind of come forwards a little bit to feel that stretch. Another thing you can do is take the arm of the same side back leg, bring it up, and then lean over towards the side of the front leg. As long as you keep your hips tucked under, that helps to also stretch the psoas and hip flexors of that back leg. So I've been doing some of that. Been doing a prone quad stretch where you lay on your stomach, bring one foot up, and just try to pull that foot in towards your bum. I like to do this one lying down because it keeps your pelvis stable. It doesn't let you compensate at all. And as you can see, I'm really tight in my quads. So, in fact, that's not even really comfortable on my kneecap. So what I've been trying to do is do a lot of foam rolling to the quads. Now that I'm comfortable in a plank position, and my core and pelvic floor feel strong enough to hold kind of a plank or prone position comfortably, foam rolling the quads has been quite an easy thing to do and comfortable, and it helps my knees feel better. So starting down by the kneecap, coming face down, other leg goes kind of up and across to help support body weight, and then just rolling up and down. Now let's see if I can scooch this up some so you guys can see my back foot. So if your back foot's pointing straight down towards the ground, you're going to be rolling directly up and down the front of your thigh, and that's good. There tends to be some tightness there. For me and a lot of people that I've worked with in the past, most of their quad tightness is towards the outside. So here's the direct front of your thigh, top of your thigh. Most of their tightness, in mine, tends to be towards the outside of the thigh, like right along the front edge of the IT band. So I like to kind of point my foot a little more forward, so not directly toes down, but kind of roll it a little forwards, and roll along the outside of the thigh that way. And that really gets into all of my tight spots. So I'll just kind of go slow, find a spot that's tight, either sit on it or kind of rock on it. You can also add movement, so you can kind of bend and straighten that knee to get a little stretch over it. You can kind of roll forward and back over it. You can do anything that feels good. Just spend a minute or so on each of those really tight spots and then roll up to the next tight spot. Same thing. I like to go all the way up and then take a minute to just sit in that hip flexor crease. So coming all the way over the hip bone, and it'll kind of sink down into a little crease. If you hang out here and try to get all of your body weight down through that foam roller, this is where those hip flexors are. If you start off more to your side, it's going to be your tensor fascia muscle, which connects into the IT band, as well as some of your glutes, the glute med, glute men, forward fibers of those. And so that's a good spot to start, and then gradually rolling belly button down towards the ground, just really focusing on letting everything relax, kind of sink down into that foam roller. As you roll forward, you're going to get more onto the quad and the psoas connections. So this is a good way to just kind of work those connecting points where those muscles turn into tendon, connect into the bone, and help improve mobility through more of those connective tissue components around and as part of the muscle versus just stretching the muscle. So I'll spend usually a minute or so just trying to really let that foam roller sink in deep and get some of that tightness out. And you can go as far anterior as you want, but I find that most of my tightness is right about, I guess I'm kind of at a 45-degree angle with my pelvis, so right about there. All right, so that's what I've been working on this week. Again, as always, these are just ideas. These are for information only. I'm not trying to prescribe exercises to anyone. Please talk with your healthcare provider before you start any new exercise to make sure that it's appropriate for you. But thanks for watching, and I hope your postpartum recovery is going well, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.